So, if you are pregnant right now and you're feeling like you're kind of stuck in a no man's land, you're neither here nor there, in a bit of a liminal space, the things that used to really spark joy for you and ignite you don't really seem to be working, and you don't know what to expect on the other side of pregnancy, then this episode is definitely going to be for you.
Welcome to the Mama Circle podcast with me, your host, Natalie K. Martin, but please call me Nat. This podcast is here to help you navigate the roller coaster that is motherhood, whether you've just given birth for the first time or if you're already deep into the thick of it. I'm going to share practical tools and tips for empowerment so you can regain your energy, enjoy your role as a mama, and feel good again. You'll also hear real stories, maybe a few tears, but hopefully a lot of laughter. So whether you are joining me on your 2 a.m. night feed, cooking dinner for your family, or if you're out and about running errands, I want to take this moment to remind you that you are doing big and important work. And in case nobody has already told you today, you've got this. This is a space for you to feel seen, heard, and supported. So if you're ready, then let's jump in.
So recently I reached out to my Instagram community and I asked for requests about topics that they would like me to talk about. And I got some really cool requests through. And I'm going to start with this one in today's episode because it actually ties in really nicely to the next couple of episodes that are coming out. It's great when things align like that. So I'm going to keep this anonymous and I'm going to read the request as it came through. So this lovely lady wanted me to talk to the transition between pregnancy and motherhood. She wrote, "I'm here, not there at the moment, and that's challenging." So I went and asked for a little bit more clarification, and she came back and said, what she means is the grieving of herself pre-pregnancy. I'm a different person now. I was so active before, loved walking and running, but now I can't do a lot of those things because my body is changing so much. But as a first timer in this, I have no idea what to expect after having a baby. Like, what will my life be like? So it's a constant battle between being in the past and the future while also learning to embrace the present, i.e. knowing that this is not forever. Hope that makes sense. It does make sense. Okay, so our bodies and our minds are extraordinarily intelligent and clever, like so much more than we could ever give them credit for. And I look at this as preparation for what is to come. Once you have your baby, there will be a little bit of time, or maybe it's a lot, but there will be some time where things like going for a run, going to the gym, being able to go to the yoga class that you really love, all of those things takes a little bit of a backseat. It could be a few weeks, it could be a few months. Imagine if you were just suddenly from one day to the next not able to do any of those things. So you just woke up and suddenly you're not able to go walking or running or the gym or yoga or anything anymore because you've now got this little baby who needs to be taken care of. It would be quite a big adjustment to get used to, no? In the same way, from my own experience and the experience of people who I've spoken to, pregnancy can also kind of switch off certain things in our minds that used to really bring us a lot of joy and fulfillment, whether that be work, whether it be certain hobbies. I know that for me, pretty much the first trimester, I had zero interest in doing anything. I didn't even want to open my laptop. I literally didn't want to do anything, didn't want to show up, didn't want to hold space for people. And I essentially just spent the first trimester vegging on the sofa, watching Downton Abbey because it was not very brain heavy, and eating chips with salad cream. That did start to change a little bit as I came out of the first trimester fog, but it took pretty much until the start of this podcast, so I was way over the other side of giving birth, for me to really feel like excited and to feel that spark about work, which for me is something that I have always loved, and it's a big part of my identity because it's a passion. I love doing this. It's a real passion for me. Likewise, I don't know how it is for this lady who wrote in this request. I don't know how it is for you or how it was for you if you've already given birth. But for me personally, I stopped sleeping through the night probably at around 6 months. into pregnancy for a variety of reasons. I was way too hot. I would need to go to the toilet multiple times. I had a lot of hip and back pain, so I was moving around, had to always reshuffle the pregnancy thing, the pillow between my legs. Snoring, oh my God, the snoring was unreal. I would even wake myself up with the snoring. And as annoying as it was, there was a part of me that knew already while that was happening, this is preparing me for the fact that I am likely not going to sleep through the night for a very long time. Because pre-pregnancy, if I had a terrible night's sleep, I would feel hungover, I would feel nauseous, I'd have a headache, it would be hell the next day. It is amazing how much you can live and do on night after night after night of broken sleep. All of this to say that my perspective is that the things that we are no longer able to do as much or at all because of pregnancy are preparing a softer landing for us once we have birthed our baby or babies. Pregnancy is a transition, it's an initiation. Becoming a mother is going from one state of being, one identity, I do not have children, to an identity, a being as someone who does have children, and they are worlds apart. Of course, there are things that stay the same, but they are worlds apart, and it is such a huge change. And unfortunately, we don't really tend to give a lot of space or celebrate or prepare ourselves for this transition and this initiation. Maybe you had a baby shower, but how did you feel after that? So, of course, maybe you had your friends, maybe you had your family, maybe you had gifts, maybe you had lovely food. How did you feel after your baby shower? Did you feel like you were really prepared for the journey, the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual journey of becoming a mother? Did you feel like you had been given advice, given new perspectives? Did you feel like you have really had this great community of women and other people around you who were going to kind of become your village? I think a lot of us don't have that. A lot of us have really pretty baby showers. We get all the things that we need for the baby. Maybe we get some things for ourselves, but we don't get that holding that we need because it's a one-time event. You have a baby shower on one day, or if you're lucky, maybe you have a weekend or a holiday. But pregnancy is a transition, and that transition lasts 10 months. And we need guidance throughout that time that is more than just what we get from our midwives, is more than just what we get from our doulas, because it's a really huge thing. It's literally a big shift in identity. So if you find yourself in this kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you're kind of in your old life, but you're not quite in the new life, there's a reason for that. You're supposed to be in this space. We're also supposed to have guidance and I just want to use the word elders. It doesn't necessarily have to be older people, but people who have been through this around us so we can really feel prepared and really feel supported for this huge change that's going to happen. So in the next episode, I'm going into this in detail. It's all about matrescence, which is the process of becoming a mother. And it's all about this transition, this identity shift that, it shifts all levels of our identity. Our bodies, our minds, our hearts, our brains literally change as well. So that is going to be an episode that I recommend you tune into so that you can get a broader understanding of what matrescence is. And then the episode after that is going to be really going into honoring who we were before we became mothers. So I just want to reiterate that if you're finding yourself in this liminal space right now, being pregnant for the first time, or maybe even for the second time, or the third, or the fourth, or however many, then really look at whatever you are going through right now as potentially being something that is making your life easier for once you've had your baby or babies, whether it's sleep deprivation, whether it's the motivation to sort out your finances, whether it's not being able to do the sports that you love, or perhaps saying goodbye to old friendships. How can what you're going through be preparing you for what is to come? And I'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek into the episode around honoring your maiden, because you're in this right now. Take some time to sit and really reflect on who you have been up until this point. Reflect on the things that you are grateful for that have brought you to where you are, for the drive, for the enthusiasm, for the lessons that you have been on in your maiden life. When I say maiden in this sense, I mean the pre-pregnancy you. And also take some time to think about what you're happy to leave behind. And it's okay if none of those things make sense to you yet, because maybe you just have to go through the initiation and through the portal, for want of a better word, of birth, and seeing your baby or babies and experiencing what that is like, to really be able to look back with a new and fresh perspective as a mother who has brought her baby or babies earthside. So I really hope that's helpful. I would love to hear what you think about this. I'd love to hear if you found yourself in that space too, and if you have been able to make any connections to how life has been post-baby. All right, my darling, I'm going to see you back here for the next episode, which is all about matrescence. It's a really, really good one, so make sure that you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you here for the next episode.